modern ghost who glowed with a gentle blue light. "Good morning, Lily. Are you ready for the big day?" he whispered cheerfully. "I've been dreaming of apple candies all night," Lily replied. She immediately went to her mirror and put on her most beautiful witch costume. Her dress, in shades of purple, orange and midnight blue, was adorned with sparkling yellow stars. Looking at her reflection with admiration, she said, "And now for the final touch. My hat." But when she reached for her head, her hand found only air. The hook where her hat always hung was empty. Her smile instantly vanished. "Pip, my hat is gone. My magic hat isn't here." Together they searched the room, but the hat was nowhere to be found. Lily's eyes filled with tears. "I can't go to the party without my hat," she murmured. Pip floated gently beside her to comfort her. "Don't worry, Lily. We'll find it. Maybe it went on a little adventure outside. I think we should look in the whispering forest." A small spark of hope appeared on Lily's face. Grabbing her backpack, she headed for the door. The adventure was now truly beginning. As Lily and Pip passed between the giant trees at the entrance of the forest, a sweet silence surrounded them. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating dancing spots of light on the forest floor. The place was both beautiful and a little mysterious. After walking a short way, they saw magical mushrooms glowing with blue and purple light among the tree roots. As they admired them, a group of friendly bats emerged from a hollow in a nearby tree. "Hello," Lily asked. "Have you seen my magic hat?" One of the bats, as if in reply, pointed to a tree with a glowing carving of a witch's hat among the moss. "Look, Lily. They're telling us to go this way," said Pip. Following the direction the bats had shown, they came upon a giant spiderweb stretched between two trees, sparkling like diamonds in the morning dew. Carefully, they walked across the shimmering web. At the end of the web, a spider pointed them toward an old mossy swing hanging from a tree branch. There was another glowing hat carving on the swing. As Lily sat down wearily on the swing, she noticed the ground beneath her was faintly glowing. A magical, shining piece of a map slowly rose from the earth. It was a map. On it was a drawing of an old mansion hidden deep in the forest. Now they knew where to go. Their weariness vanished instantly, replaced by the excitement of a new destination. Following the path on the map, Lily and Pip finally arrived before an old but grand mansion that rose from among the trees. Inside was a vast, silent, and dusty hall. Sunlight streaming through the tall windows illuminated the dancing dust motes in the air. Just then they saw cute, translucent ghost mice cheerfully chasing each other around an old fireplace. "Hello," said Pip. "Have you seen a lost hat?" One of the mice zipped over to a large bookcase and pointed to a glowing hat carving. The moment Lily touched the carving, the bookcase creaked and slid to the side, revealing a dark, secret passage behind it. The two friends proceeded through the tunnel, their way lit by magical moss glowing on the walls. At the end of the tunnel, they found an old wooden staircase leading up. When they reached the top, they found themselves in a long corridor filled with old paintings. On the largest painting at the end of the hall was a portrait of a witch who was missing her hat. Pip noticed a small, ornate key shining on the floor just below the painting. When Lily picked up the key, it seemed to glow, as if pointing toward the large locked door at the end of the corridor. Their next goal was clear, and they couldn't wait to find out what was behind that door. Lily placed the small shining key into the keyhole of the large door at the end of the hallway. When she turned it, the lock opened with a soft click. The view behind it was breathtaking. It was a magical, sparkling attic, illuminated by the moonlight filtering through the skylights. In the middle of the room, little ghostlings, who looked just like Pip but smaller, were dancing joyfully. One of the ghostlings pointed them toward an old wooden chest in the corner. Lily eagerly ran to the chest and opened the lock with her key. But her hat wasn't inside. Instead, there was another piece of the map and another key. Lily's face fell for a moment. "My hat isn't here either," she said. As Pip comforted her, Lily placed the new map piece next to the other one. With a magical light, the two pieces floated into the air and joined together, forming a single complete map. On the map, one final location was now glowing: the Crystal Cave. Just then, one of the ghostlings pointed to the attic's large round window. When they looked out, they could see the entrance to the Crystal Cave, shimmering under the moonlight on a distant hill. Now they knew their final destination. They thanked the cute ghostlings, waved goodbye, and set off on their final adventure, with a completed map in one hand and the new key in the other. With one last effort, they followed the moonlit path and arrived at the entrance of the Crystal Cave. When they stepped inside, it took their breath away. Every surface of the cave was covered in giant crystals that radiated rainbow-colored light. When they reached the brightest chamber of the cave, they saw something resting gently on the largest crystal. It was Lily's lost witch hat. But it looked very different now. The stars on it were sparkling with all the colors of the rainbow. Just then, a soft, wise voice was heard from within the crystal. "Welcome, little witch Lily. I am sorry for borrowing your hat, but it needed to recharge its magic for your first party." It was the guardian of the Crystal Cave. This whole adventure was so her hat could renew its magic. Lily's courage and Pip's friendship had made the hat's magic even stronger than before. The hat floated from the crystal and gently placed itself on Lily's head. They made it to the party just in time. With her rainbow sparkling hat, Lily was the star of the night. At the end of the evening, tired but happy, she lay down in her bed, with her best friend Pip floating at her side. "It was a wonderful adventure, wasn't it?" whispered Pip. As her eyes closed, Lily murmured, "The very best." And with her magical hat on her head, she drifted off into sweet dreams of the amazing adventure she had that day. Sweet dreams, little witch. Sweet dreams.